Hello, Carthage High School seniors and Carthage High School senior parents. Earlier this week, CHS counselors were present in all senior language arts classes to roll out the 2017-2018 scholarship booklet and to go over the application process. We've put together this video to serve as a refresher or as a reminder for information regarding the scholarship booklet and the application process. To get started, we'll go to the Carthage High School homepage, and from the homepage we're going to go to the counselor site. So if you scroll down, you'll see the counselor site right here. Once we click on it, the counselor page loads, and we'll see a list of tabs across the top, and we're going to go to the scholarship tab. Once the scholarship tab loads, I'd like for you to pay attention and make special note of the scholarships that are listed here at the bottom of the page. These are scholarships that we've gotten information about this year and will continue to update as we get more. These scholarships are outside of the school and are not always associated with a specific college or university. So please continue to check this if you need more scholarship information. For the 2017-18 scholarship booklet, we're going to focus on this area at the top of the page. You'll see the booklet, the scholarship application, and the letter of recommendation request form. We'll start by clicking on the booklet and downloading. We've encouraged students to download a copy of this scholarship book by clicking on the download. After the student has downloaded the copy of the scholarship booklet, they'll need to go to the bottom of their screen, and then they'll need to open the downloaded version, which will allow them then in Microsoft Word to edit this document and truly make it their own. As a student starts to scroll through the document, the scholarship book, you'll see important information about school district personnel and also the step-by-step instructions of how to apply for these scholarships. Past that, students will then begin to find a listing of all the scholarships that he or she can apply for as part of the 2017-18 scholarship booklet. The first thing that we encourage students to do is to go through each scholarship and decide whether it's a scholarship that they are going to apply for. So if we start with this first scholarship, it's the Alpha Eta chapter of Alpha Delta Kappa. It's a $200 scholarship. When we look at the selection criteria, it tells us that it's for a CHS senior planning to major in education. So if you are not an education major, then we would encourage you to highlight this row and delete it and remove it from your document, so that at the end of this process, each student will have a document that only contains the scholarships that he or she wish to apply for. If this scholarship is a scholarship that you're going to apply for, if the Mr. and Mrs. Arch L. Harris Scholarship sponsored by the Carthage Kiwanis Club is a scholarship that your child or that you are going to apply for, then you'll follow the step-by-step application process. It's at this time I would really like to encourage all students and their parents to pay attention to the specific steps required for each scholarship under the application process and to follow those steps to the letter. If the scholarship does not request a letter of recommendation, please do not include a letter of recommendation with your application materials. Follow this information to the letter. If it asks for an essay, supply an essay. If it asks for 2 letters of recommendation, supply 2 letters of recommendation. So, once a student has whittled down their list of scholarships and they know which ones they're going to apply for, it's time to fill out the scholarship application, which can be found right underneath the scholarship book. Again, students will be encouraged to click on the application and then also to download it by clicking the downloaded, and then opening the downloaded copy, which will allow them to edit this scholarship application. Moving through the application, it's fairly straightforward. You're going to leave the top of this scholarship application blank so that you can handwrite the name of the scholarship in later. Then you'll start right here with your general information. It's going to ask for your full name, in which you can type in your full name. Then it's going to ask for your gender, and you can right-click on this box, go to Properties, and then mark Checked, which will check that box for you. And you can enter your date of birth. The next section asks who you live with and who your parent and guardians are, so you can check all that apply. Again, right-click on the box and mark it checked. Then it's going to ask for your parent and guardian's name and the address at which you reside. The next step asks for your parent's occupation and employer. So for example, you may say that your dad is a teacher and he is employed at the Carthage R9 school district. The next section of the application asks for your total family income for the home in which you reside. Now, many of you may not know this exact information. Please ask your parents and give your best guess as to what your total family income is. Again, mark each box by going to right-clicking, going to Properties, and marking it checked. There's a section of the application that asks for any family financial considerations that you wish the scholarship committee to be aware of. It's at this point of the applications that students can let the scholarship selection committees know about special circumstances with your family. Perhaps you have had a parent or a guardian who has been ill and has a lot of medical expenses that make it difficult for your family to pay for college. Or maybe you are a part of a large family who has several older siblings that are already in college. And so another college tuition would be a financial burden for your family. It's those sorts of things that can help a scholarship selection committee get a better idea of what you and your family's financial picture look like. The next section of the scholarship is incredibly important, and it is one that lots of students forget and look over. Every application should have a resume attached to it. You must have this resume so that scholarship selection committees can look at the activities that you've been involved in at school, can look at your volunteer work, can look at your work history, any of those things that help to provide a better picture about who you are so they know who they would like to award a scholarship to. Please do not forget to attach a copy of your resume to every scholarship application that you submit. After you've worked on your resume, the next section of your application is your college choice, and that is your first choice college and your second choice college. So here you can type in the schools that you think that you would like to attend. And you may also let the scholarship committee know if you plan to live on campus, commute, or live off campus. You will also need to tell the scholarship committee what your anticipated college major is and if you're going to have a minor. Now, not every college student will have a college minor, so if that's something that doesn't apply to you, you can use the N/A, which stands for not applicable. You would also need to provide information for the scholarship selection committees about what your future career goals are. Not just your major, but what you plan to do with that major. What kind of job or what kind of aspirations do you have? The next section is looking at potential resources that you and your family may have to help with college. Here you're going to let the committee know if your parents plan to help pay for your college expenses. And then the next section is asking if you have any money already awarded to you, either through Bright Flight, A+ scholarships, or other scholarships from your college that you're going to. There's also a section that helps the scholarship committee know if you have other plans to help offset the cost of your college expenses that you can write about here, whether that's a summer job, or a savings account that you may have. After you have completed the resume and you have typed in all of the information on this scholarship, you will print one copy and you will sign here and date. Once you have signed and dated your first copy of this application, you will bring it to your counselor. Now, time out here and take a moment and recognize that this is asking for your 7th semester information, which means it has to include first semester of your senior year. That information won't be finalized until after Christmas break in the first part of January. So if you finish this application before Christmas break, your counselor still won't be able to fill this part out for you until after 7th semester information has become finalized in January. So once you've printed this out and you've signed it and it's after the first part of January, you can bring this to your counselor and your counselor will fill this section out. And that will complete this application. Then you will make as many copies of the applications as you are filling out or as you are applying for scholarships. So if you are applying for 15 scholarships, you'll make 15 copies of this application, and then you will handwrite the name of each scholarship in at the top. Unless otherwise noted in the scholarship book, all scholarships have a deadline of February 16th at 3:30 in the counselor's office. Students, however, may begin turning in completed scholarship applications starting the first part of February in the counselor's office. A couple of quick reminders about this scholarship application. 1. Make sure you fill it out completely. 2. Please be sure to include a copy of your resume. 3. Make sure you have signed your copy of the application. And 4. Make sure that you are bringing this in for your counselors to sign after 7th semester information has been finalized. Going back to the Carthage High School counseling page, you will see underneath the scholarship application, there's a letter of recommendation form. Students may use this form to fill out to ask teachers or community members to write a letter of recommendation. They can fill this information out and give it to the person that they're asking to write a letter of recommendation. It's very helpful for people who are writing letters of recommendation to have some information to help guide their letter writing process. Students always get a better letter from a person when that person has information to help them craft their letter. If a scholarship requires a special application, students will be able to find those applications available in the counseling office. This is an exciting time for seniors, and we recognize that it can also be really stressful and overwhelming. We hope that our classroom presentations in the English Language Arts classes and this video will help guide students smoothly through the process. But please don't hesitate to contact us with any questions you might have. Best wishes to all our senior applicants.